This is a pound of pasta and this is a pound of asparagus. The pasta cost $1 and the asparagus cost $1.99. So you may think to yourself, okay, I can do basic math. This asparagus is twice as expensive as this pasta. But I'm here to tell you that that is actually not the best way to think about the price of food, and that this asparagus is deceptively very, very expensive. So the reason why a lot of vegetables, including this lovely asparagus, is actually very expensive is because you have to consider the price per calorie, not just the price per pound. As I mentioned earlier, this asparagus was $1.99 a pound. I bought it at Fred Meyer, which is a chain that's a little bit lower price in the Pacific Northwest, so it's not like this was like very expensive asparagus. It wasn't organic, it was actually on sale, and asparagus is in season right now because it is spring, so it was probably local. Let me see where it was from. Product of USA. I wish I knew where in the USA, but what can you do? Anyway, it was probably relatively local because it is a spring vegetable and it is May right now as I am recording this video. I bought this yesterday. And yeah, as I said, it's a pound of asparagus and it cost me $2. But here's the catch. This pound of asparagus only has about 85 calories, whereas this pound of pasta has 1,500 calories. Now, I am currently on a diet and I'm eating 1,600 calories a day, so this entire box of pasta would basically fill me for a day. I would be full. I would not be hungry. Now, I wouldn't have all my essential nutrients. I mean, I'd be missing some protein, I'd be missing some fiber, I'd be missing some vitamins and minerals, but the point is, I would be full. I would not go hungry. However, if I ate this pound of asparagus, it is also a pound of food, I would get hungry again really, really quickly because it would only give me about a 1/16 of what I need for the day. So that's why it's really important to consider the price per calorie, not just the price per pound when you're buying food. So to illustrate this point so that it's a little more universal for most people watching this video, I'm going to base these calculations on a 2,000 calorie diet, meaning you have to eat 2,000 calories a day because that's a little average for most adults. So adjusted for an adult who has to have a 2,000 calorie diet per day, this $1 box of pasta would not fill you for an entire day. So what you would have to pay to eat enough pasta to have 2,000 calories to be full in one day would be $1.33. And this isn't even the cheapest pasta you could get. Like, you could get it in bulk. This was on sale. It was like buy 10 for $10. But you can get cheaper grains even than this. But I'd say generally speaking, this is one of the cheaper starches and grains that you can get. So only $1.33 and you can be full for the entire day just off of pasta. Back to our lovely friend, the asparagus. And again, this was not an expensive vegetable. I'm not using a particularly expensive vegetable to skew the numbers and make vegetables look bad. And also, vegetables aren't bad. Vegetables are really good for you and they taste really good and you should eat them for sure. We're just purely talking about being full, having enough energy, and how much money you're paying. So get this, for a 2,000 calorie diet, how much money would you have to pay in one day to be full just off of asparagus if you ate nothing but asparagus? Drum roll, please. $46.82. So yeah, for $1.33, you could eat this and be full for a day, but it would cost you $46.82 to get full if you ate nothing but asparagus for the whole day. Not to mention your pee would smell very interesting. So as you can see, what looked like was twice the price of pasta per pound. This is $1 per pound, this is $2 per pound, $1.99. That's $2 per pound. It looks like on the surface this is twice as expensive as this. Actually, this is more like 30 to 35 times as expensive as the pasta when you're considering how full you're actually going to be off of the food. So with that principle in mind, I'm going to show you a few other foods and break down how much they actually cost. I went to the butcher yesterday and I got 2 pounds of boneless, skinless chicken thigh meat. Now, if you've been keeping up with the news, you may have heard that there's some problems with Tyson, and the entire nation of America's food supply is changing. Things are becoming scarce, but especially meat. Meat is about twice as expensive just across the board everywhere. Even if you're not buying Tyson meat, this is not Tyson, I got it from the local butcher, but meat is about twice as expensive as it usually is. These boneless, skinless chicken thighs, and if they're processed, if they're boneless, skinless, they tend to be more expensive per pound, but you're also not buying bones, which you cannot ingest, so it kind of averages out in a way. But anyway, it was $3.49 a pound for these, and this is actually a pretty good price for boneless, skinless chicken thighs right now, considering. But yeah, meat is actually expensive. However, for the pound of chicken, it's 540 calories per pound. So if I need 2,000 calories a day to survive, and if I eat nothing but this chicken here, the amount of money that I would have to spend to be full for a day on just this chicken is $12.93. So compared to this pasta, I would only have to pay $1.33 for the pasta, and I'd have to pay almost $13 to get full on just chicken. However, when compared to our asparagus friend here, this chicken is about a third of the price of the asparagus if you're talking about just getting full. So any ideas you have that vegetables are cheaper than meat and meat is expensive, like, yeah, meat is expensive per pound. This stuff was, $3.49 per pound, and this was only $1.99 per pound, but I'm gonna get so much fuller eating these chicken thighs than I am eating this asparagus, so this is actually cheaper than asparagus. And this was also, as I said, expensive chicken from a local butcher. If you get your cheaper supermarket chicken, again, before the pandemic hit, in the before times, chicken at the supermarket, if it was like, factory farm raised, it's usually even less than $1 a pound. It's the cheapest meat that you can generally get. I checked at Fred Meyer yesterday, it was $1.49 a pound for chicken. So if you get factory farm chicken and you want to survive on just factory farm chicken all day, that will set you back $8.23 compared to this $12.93 chicken. So factory farm raised chicken, well, not very ethical, is cheaper than this chicken, and it is much, much, much cheaper than this asparagus. However, it is more expensive than pasta. I'm gonna put you back in the fridge so you don't go bad. Okay, let's have some fun here and compare a luxury item, Ben & Jerry's ice cream. This is not the most expensive ice cream you could buy, but it's premium supermarket ice cream. This pint, a pound, was $4.99. $5. Really expensive, right? I get it as a special treat. Well, ordinarily I only get Ben & Jerry's as a special treat, but since lockdown started, I've been getting a lot of Ben & Jerry's. It's kind of my guilty pleasure these days. I'm enjoying it quite a bit. Anyway, this little baby cost me $4.99 for 1 pound. So back to our asparagus friend here. This little guy was more than twice as expensive per pound as this asparagus. Oh my goodness, this is a luxury good. You shouldn't buy this if you want to save money. This ice cream, this is one of the more caloric ice creams because it has peanut butter in it, which is good for you too because it's a legume and it'll balance out all that pasta. Anyway, I digress. This ice cream is 1,480 calories for the entire pint. So on my diet, I could pretty much just eat this pint and it would be most of my food for the day. And that should clue you in to how expensive this really is. If you are an adult who has to eat 2,000 calories a day to be full, this will only set you back $6.76 if all you eat is this ice cream. $6.76, $46.82. Who's a luxury item now? Fruit is notorious for being expensive, especially something like cherries. These cherries were on sale, partly because cherry season has just started in California, and these are from California, which isn't too far away from Washington, where I live. So these were on sale at $2.99 a pound. So they are more expensive, $2.99 a pound versus $1.99 a pound for this asparagus. However, at 225 calories per pound, 2,000 calories worth of these cherries will only set you back $26.67, which, as you'll recall, is a little more than half the price of getting full on 2,000 calories of asparagus in one day. So actually, cherries, the expensive fruit, the expensive luxury fruit good, is cheaper than a vegetable. But what about canned vegetables? I hear canned vegetables are a lot cheaper than fresh, and generally they are, depending on where you live and what season you are, etc. But yeah, canned tomatoes are generally championed as a cheap pantry staple. I always have a bunch in my pantry. They're so versatile, and they're a lifesaver. I really love them. But how expensive are they really? So this can is 1 pound and 12 ounces or 28 ounces, and it's basically 100 calories per pound of tomatoes. So if I were to eat nothing but canned tomatoes all day and I needed 2,000 calories a day to survive and feel full, I would have to pay $15.80 to get full on these canned tomatoes. Now that is a lot cheaper than this asparagus, which sets me back around $46, $47. This is about a third of the price of the fresh asparagus, but it is still more expensive than chicken. It's about twice as expensive as the chicken, which I put back in the fridge because I didn't want it to go bad. But yeah, even a cheap vegetable, even cheap canned vegetables like tomatoes are more expensive than meat. So before you think I made this video just to complain about vegetables and convince people to not eat vegetables, I'm in no way trying to do that. Again, vegetables are tasty, they're versatile, and they're very good for you, and you should eat some vegetables in your diet. And there are some vegetables that are cheaper than others. Sadly, most vegetables are quite expensive when you compare the price per calorie, but vegetables like carrots, beets, parsnips, any root vegetable that's starchier and has more sugar will have more calories, and they're also hardier, so they're easier to ship and transport, which makes them cheaper. So root veggies, I'm not counting potatoes, by the way, that's a starch, that's not a vegetable. Those are indeed quite cheap. But carrot is pretty much just my champion of cheap vegetables. And I'm going to break down how expensive carrots actually are. So a bulk 5-pound bag of carrots is usually around $3.50. I checked out Walmart's website yesterday just to see how expensive they'd be right now because I didn't buy them because I still have lots of carrots in my fridge. I always keep lots of carrots. Anyway, they were $3.44 for a 5-pound bag of carrots. That's a lot of carrots. But even if you ate the entire 5-pound bag of carrots, if you need 2,000 calories a day, that's not going to actually fill you up because carrots are 186 calories per pound. Now, as you recall, asparagus was about 86 calories per pound, I think. And carrots are 100 more than that. They're almost twice as caloric as asparagus per pound. So already that should be cluing you in to the deal that you're going to get from carrots. So to get full off of nothing but carrots, if you need 2,000 calories a day, you would have to spend $5.11. So that's a lot better than this. And indeed, this is cheaper than chicken. So this is why I always champion carrots. And yeah, if you're not already eating a lot of carrots to be healthy and save money, you should just put carrots in pretty much everything. They're really good. Now I'm going to show you the price of butter, the real price of butter. This is good butter. It's not like the best butter you could get, but it's high-end supermarket butter, challenge butter. This pound of butter cost me $4.99. But the thing about butter, you see, is it's extremely caloric. If I ate this whole pound of butter, well, this whole pound of butter has 3,200 calories. So for me personally, that's 2 whole days of food. If I ate nothing but butter, and we're just talking about being full, we're not talking about how it tastes or how nutritious it is, we're just talking about enough calories to make me full and to give me energy. If I ate nothing but butter, I would only have to spend $2.50 per day to get full on butter, which makes it actually quite cheap compared to some of the other items we've been looking at today. But for someone on a 2,000 calorie a day diet, they would only have to spend $3.13 to get full on this nice quality butter. Cheaper than carrots. So I wanted to end this video by bringing up protein because, you know, if you're an omnivore, I'm an omnivore. I would never become vegan or vegetarian just because I love meat and dairy too much. But I have reduced my meat and dairy intake over the years for many reasons. And a lot of people want to know how to do that. A lot of people are gonna want to know how to do that now that everything's getting really expensive, especially meat. So I wanted to bring up legumes in this video to show that they are cheaper than meat. And if you really, really want to have the cheapest diet of all, it's a vegan diet. And it's very low in vegetables, very, very high in starch, because I was showing pasta, but pretty much all starches are very cheap. Potatoes, rice, flour, that's the absolute cheapest one. You know, your specialty grains like maybe some imported organic quinoa is going to be more expensive, but you know, your run-of-the-mill pasta, rice, flour, that's going to be the cheapest food that you can possibly eat. But if you eat nothing but that, you're going to be missing out on your protein needs. You're going to be missing out on some other nutrients. So you need to complete it with legumes. And of course, not all legumes are created equal either. Some legumes are cheaper than others. But I have some dried chickpeas here. That's my favorite legume. That's the only one that I can really stand eating. I don't really like legumes, except peanut butter also. Peanut butter, by the way, another really nice cheap legume. But yeah, chickpeas, I just wanted to show you this run-of-the-mill average priced legume. I think it's actually a little towards the higher range of price of legumes. So it's not like a cheap legume, but I'm still gonna show you how it's cheaper than meat. So these chickpeas dry, by the way, it's always cheaper to buy your legumes dry rather than canned, $4.08 a pound. And there's 1456 calories per pound of chickpeas. So that's almost as many calories per pound as you'll find in pasta. So just looking at that, this is about 4 times as expensive as pasta. And if you are a person on a 2,000 calorie a day diet, it's only gonna set you back $5.61 to get full on just chickpeas if you eat nothing but chickpeas. But that is cheaper than even our cheapest chicken. So if you eat these chickpeas and this pasta, that is going to be pretty much your cheapest possible eating experience to not only be full, but to also have enough protein and to also have quite a few nutrients. You probably are still going to be missing some. I don't recommend that you eat nothing but pasta and chickpeas for the rest of your life. But this is just to give you some ideas of the kinds of foods that you should be eating if you really want to save money, especially right now with meat being so expensive. Well, thanks for indulging me with this mathy kind of video. In the coming weeks, I am going to be showing some more how-to videos on this channel on how to make those cheaper recipes with legumes and grains, like grain and legume-based meals. A lot of them are going to be vegan. A lot of them are going to be ovo-lacto vegetarian, meaning they have eggs or dairy in them but no meat. And I hope you tune in and learn how to cook those things.